Let me tell you something most people never figure out in their lifetime. Thinking rich is a strategy, and acting rich is a system. Thinking rich starts with ownership and responsibility. It begins the moment you stop outsourcing your problems and start taking control of your outcomes. Most people stay stuck because they're too busy pointing fingers at their circumstances, their past, their lack of connections, or even the system. But those who build real wealth understand that nothing changes until they take full ownership of their situation. This mindset shift is where the foundation for success is laid. It's not about pretending life is fair. It's about acknowledging that, fair or not, the game is on and you're the player. When you think rich, you stop complaining and start solving. You stop waiting for someone to show you the path and start creating your own. You move from victim to leader. That shift is everything. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means everything is your problem to solve. Whether your business is struggling, your bank account is empty, or your relationships are toxic, thinking rich means asking yourself, what can I do differently? It's the ultimate ownership mentality. You don't expect the government, your boss, or the market to save you. You look inward first. The rich thinker knows that circumstances don't define them, decisions do. That power is always available and it's always internal. Ownership isn't sexy, it's not glamorous, it's waking up early when you don't feel like it. It's building the product when no one believes in it yet. It's being disciplined with your money when your friends are out spending theirs. It's showing up with energy when your world feels like it's falling apart. This mindset is rare because it demands responsibility without excuses. The truth is, people avoid ownership because it's uncomfortable. It forces you to confront your patterns, your laziness, your inconsistency, and your fear. But that's exactly where the leverage is. Ownership is what puts you in control of the narrative. Once you own your life, you can shape it. The minute you say, "This is on me," you regain power. Rich thinking doesn't wait for clarity or the perfect time. It moves with intention and takes responsibility for the outcome, whether it's a win or a lesson. Rich thinkers don't dwell in regret or blame. They process, learn, and evolve. They lead themselves first before expecting to lead anyone else. Ownership is not just about fixing problems, it's about mastering your response to them. Rich action means intentional execution, not busy work. Most people confuse motion with progress. They check off endless to-do lists, answer every email, jump on every call, and feel productive, but none of it moves the needle. Acting rich is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's about executing on the few critical tasks that create exponential results. Rich performers operate from clarity. They know exactly what outcomes they want and reverse engineer every move to serve that outcome. They don't react to their day, they design it. Every action is calculated, every hour is leveraged. Their calendar reflects their goals, not distractions. Their work is not dictated by urgency, but by strategy. Intentional execution requires saying no more than you say yes. It demands ruthless focus. It's the discipline to ignore shiny objects, trends, and noise and stay committed to your lane. People who act rich don't multitask. They prioritize. They don't seek validation through activity. They seek results through action. They're not addicted to being busy, they're addicted to building systems that scale. Their effort isn't scattered, it's directed like a laser. They understand that effort without direction is just wasted energy. Every decision they make passes through a filter. Will this move me closer to my long-term vision? This level of intentionality also shows up in how they invest their energy. Rich action isn't reactive, it's proactive. It's the habit of creating before consuming, leading before following, and producing before scrolling. There is no time for gossip, drama, or low-leverage tasks. They delegate, automate, and eliminate anything that doesn't serve their mission. Their environment, their network, even their daily routines are optimized for performance. They understand that the difference between good and great is often a few intentional moves repeated with precision and discipline. Success to them is a system, not a mystery. The reason intentional execution wins is because it compounds. Small, smart moves done consistently over time create massive separation. While others chase hacks and shortcuts, rich actors are stacking brick by brick, building infrastructure, reputation, skill, and opportunity. They're not hoping for a breakthrough, they're engineering one. And because they execute with intent, they know exactly where their time went, what it produced, and how to improve it. That feedback loop fuels momentum and keeps them in alignment with their purpose. Investing in yourself is the highest return decision you can make. It's the one asset that compounds without limits and can never be taken from you. Most people think investing is only about stocks, real estate, or business, but the best investment always starts internally, with your mindset, your skills, your knowledge, and your habits. When you choose to pour into yourself, you're building a foundation that allows everything else to grow faster, stronger, and with more stability. You become the asset. You become the machine that generates results. You develop tools that serve you for a lifetime, not just a season. This kind of investment isn't always glamorous. It looks like waking up an hour earlier to read when no one's watching. It's joining programs, hiring mentors, attending events, even when it's uncomfortable or expensive. It's doing deep work to improve your emotional intelligence, your leadership, your communication, and your clarity. The people who rise fastest in business and in life aren't the ones with the fanciest resumes or the best connections. They're the ones who are relentless about growing. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait to feel ready. They bet on themselves and then do the work to make that bet pay off. Investing in yourself also means protecting your time, your energy, and your mental bandwidth. That includes your environment. That includes your circle. That includes what you consume every single day. What you watch, listen to, and engage with either upgrades your operating system or fills it with distractions and limitations. You can't expect to operate at a high level if you're feeding your mind low-quality inputs. High performers are intentional about this. They curate what goes in because they know it affects what comes out. They build routines and systems that support growth even when motivation is low or stress is high. The people who seem to level up quickly are usually the ones who have paid the price behind the scenes through learning, refining, failing, and trying again. They understand that the fastest way to collapse time and increase results is to get around people who've already done what they want to do. They buy speed by accessing experience, insight, and structure. That's not an expense, it's leverage. And once you treat self-development like a non-negotiable instead of a luxury, you start to operate from a completely different playing field. Wealth is built through systems, leverage, and disciplined action. Most people chase money by trading their time, grinding harder, and doing everything manually. But the rich understand that time is limited and energy is finite, so they build systems that work without them. They design structures where processes can run on autopilot, teams can operate independently, and results can be repeated consistently. Systems remove friction, they reduce decision fatigue, they create predictability in outcomes, and that predictability is what allows growth to scale. Without systems, you're hustling. With systems, you're scaling. Every successful entrepreneur, investor, or high performer has built a system behind their results, whether it's how they hire, how they market, or how they operate daily. Leverage is what multiplies effort. It's how the few outperform the many. Instead of doing it all themselves, wealthy individuals use leverage through people, capital, technology, and content. One piece of content can be viewed by millions. One smart hire can free up hundreds of hours. One investment can produce returns for decades. Leverage isn't just about delegation, it's about creating exponential outcomes from linear input. The more you grow, the more you must remove yourself from tasks that keep you small and move toward activities that produce leverage. Wealthy people constantly ask themselves, how can I make this work without me? And then build around that answer. They design their businesses, investments, and routines around freedom, not dependency. Disciplined action is the glue that holds systems and leverage together. It's the ability to show up when motivation is low. It's being consistent when results aren't instant. It's staying focused on the mission even when the distractions feel louder. Discipline means doing the hard things that others avoid because that's where the advantage lies. The wealthy don't rely on emotion, they rely on standard. They build habits and rules around how they spend time, how they think, how they communicate, and how they make decisions. That discipline gives them clarity, it removes chaos, it allows them to stay in control while others get reactive. Every result they produce can be traced back to disciplined choices made over time. When you combine systems, leverage, and discipline, you no longer depend on willpower or chance. You create a machine that works in alignment with your goals. You build a life that scales with your vision instead of collapsing under pressure. Wealth stops being something you chase and starts being something you engineer